Kevin Haig.
Thank you very much, Mr Chair. I could certainly listen to Simon O'Connor make that speech several times over. I'm pleased he made that contribution again. I'd like to urge the National Party to use Simon O'Connor in the election campaign, because I think that message of democracy isn't necessarily well served by voting will be one that really resonates with the New Zealand public. This bill is fundamentally about the suspension of rights, in this case civil and political rights. And I want in this contribution to talk about another sort of rights, and those are the rights of Māori guaranteed under the Treaty of Waitangi. Section 4 of the Principal Act provides that DHBs must recognise and respect the principles of the treaty with a view to improving Māori health outcomes, and specifies the functions of contributing to decision-making and delivery of health services. And that talk of principles always, there are various interpretations of what those principles are. You know, there's the 3 Ps idea, partnership, participation and protection, or there's the Justice Summers construction that actually says the principles must not only include all of what's included in the articles of the treaty, but must go beyond that to the central ideas that underpin those articles as well. But actually, Mr Chair, regardless of which of those we choose, the inevitable conclusion must be that the treaty demands, under Article 2, that Māori are present and contributing to joint decision-making at the top table of an entity like a district health board. That's actually what the statute says. And yet, in his contribution at the second reading, and Mr Chair, I noticed that the Minister has yet to answer any of the questions that have been asked, although possibly Todd Barclay was representing him in his contribution. In his second reading speech, the Minister indicated that the treaty issues that had been raised, concerns about the effective suspension of Section 4 of the Act, in this case, would be met by the Commissioner providing for Māori participation at advisory committee level. And just as the concerns I raised in my earlier contribution about that being an inadequate mechanism for meeting the transparency requirement that the people of the Southern District had expressed, representation at the advisory committee level is not an adequate way for the responsibility of the Crown through the Southern District Health Board to be met. The Crown will be failing its statutory and ethical responsibility to honour the treaty, whether we're talking about articles or principles. And Mr Chair, what is required here is for the Minister instead, and I don't believe that the Minister's right to instruct district health boards has been in any way changed by his appointment of commissioners. He may still instruct. So whether he includes a proper treaty provision in the bill before the Committee of the Whole House right now, or whether he commits now to using his power to instruct to require that the Southern District Health Board will in fact step up to the mark and incorporate iwi representation, mana whenua representation at that top level amongst that group of commissioners, either way is satisfactory, but to do neither is unsatisfactory. It fails the statutory test. So, Mr Chair, I'll leave it there, and thank you very much for the opportunity to make another contribution.
Thank you. So I'm just
Ginny Salesi.